Wam Kahalo, Yahweh Bashmil, Shabbat Hashem Kakodash, double honors to the elder apostles and other bishops of great millstone, even the elders that came before them, that taught us this truth. Shalom and salutations. All the brothers are pushing the word in truth and in sincerity, the hopeful like tabernacle of David. I'm the elder Yahshua. I'm back with the WW3 Daily Update. Shalom and salutations to you all. All right, this is about how they're going to get some of these troops into place. Okay? Because shall the enemy besieged him. Let's go right here real quick. Let's get a precept. Second Ezra, Salakia. Second Ezra 15. And shall the enemy besiege them? Second Ezra 15:33, and from the land of the Assyrians shall the enemy besiege them and consume some of them, and in their host shall be fear and dread and strife among their kings. So this is talking about when these Arabs, see, you got these Arab nations up here, the dragons of Arabia. What? The Arab nations, right? Coming from where? Libya, Syria, all those places where Babylon went over there and plundered. Iraq. Okay? It's a bunch of Arabs coming this way. All right? Coming to, making their way to America, making their way to the mother of America, making their way to Europe. Okay? Now, Scott Ritter here. Forget Scott. This is an open-minded thinker. One day ago, this is yesterday, he's going to speak on how the war and the oil crisis is going to cause a famine. And because of that famine, people are going to migrate and rush up into Europe. Okay? He's going to explain what we see happening right now, and the shit is scary. All right, so watch this.
That means 25% of the world's agronomy isn't getting the fertilizers necessary to produce the crops necessary to feed the populations. We aren't just talking about an energy crisis where gas prices go up. We're talking about a global famine that's going to happen if Donald Trump did this. We're talking about Europe being overrun by hundreds of millions of desperate refugees. We're talking about Africa unable to sustain populations surging across into the Maghreb, into North Africa, fleeing into Europe, coming through Turkey into Europe.
This is 2CTV. Look at this. Italy closes its border.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to 2CTV. This is your global news channel. I'm Maya 2C, and we have breaking news coming from the southern parts of Spain following the invasion that happened in Ceuta. Some of you already have seen this since last night, but we have a huge escalation right now in the country. And as the foreign invaders from Morocco, they're not all
what did Scott Ritter say was going to happen in Europe? All of those refugees are going to run into Europe. This is it. It's happening right now. Why? Because they're starving. Nobody's going to say that. Why are they running up into Europe right now? This is exactly what Scott said was going to happen. We're watching it.
From Morocco, but they came from Morocco, have now reached other parts of Spain, and Europe is in a bit of an internal conflict as the Italians have now closed the border and have basically banned anybody coming from Spain. As you can tell, we are in our temporary home studio in the United States, in Florida, until our permanent studio in our office in Fort Lauderdale gets ready, which should be in the next
Well,
couple of weeks.
looks like Tusi ran away to the United States, huh? Wasn't going so well in England. And came over here
Awesome.
to get destroyed by a missile.
Let me just quickly double check. Right, I think there is a bit of a breaking news.
So this is
Right.
happening now on some World War
There is a
Z.
reaction from the European Union, ladies and gentlemen. They are now going to be making a move against the Italian government for suspending the border. First, we're going to go through the videos, the latest videos that we have. Multiple people have been killed overnight as a huge number of people from Morocco continue to invade. That invasion is still
And when
ongoing.
they say Morocco, right, what they want you to think, well, oh, Africa, Africa. They want you to think Negroes are overtaking Europe. But really, it's these Arabs, right, going into, the Crusades and all of that shit. That this is round 2 or whatever. What's up, Tusi?
The official numbers is above 70,000 people now, but the unofficial numbers is we are looking at over 100,000 people already who have crossed the borders. This is how it started and Ceuta collapsed.
And so here it is. Now, let's play Scott one more time, just to put it in perspective. And if this is like day 1 of the expansion, where's this going? Come on, Scott. Okay, let's look at Scott one more time. And listen close to what he just said. Because that's what we're looking at. Listen to Scott.
25% of the world's ability to produce fertilizers, that means 25% of the world's agronomy isn't getting the fertilizers necessary to produce the crops necessary to feed the populations. We aren't just talking about an energy crisis where gas prices go up. We're talking about a global famine that's going to happen if Donald Trump did this. We're talking about Europe being overrun by hundreds of millions of desperate refugees. We're talking about Africa unable to sustain populations surging across into the Maghreb, into North Africa, fleeing into Europe, coming through Turkey into Europe, because they are desperate. Again, a challenge I give to anybody in your audience: stop eating today. Just try it. Tell me how hungry you are tonight. You're going to be pretty hungry, but you'll be okay. Tomorrow, don't eat because there's no food. You're going to start to get grumpy because your body's going to start saying, hey, I'm hungry. I'm starting to consume myself. The third day, you're not going to be grumpy. You're going to be weak. You're going to be standing up, being a little lightheaded. On the fourth day, you realize that if you don't eat, you're going to die, which means you're going to do anything necessary to get food. On the first day, you're a civilized person. On the fourth day, you're an animal running around murdering people to get their food, breaking into homes to get their food, because if you don't, you die. That's what's about to happen to a significant portion of the global population if they're denied access to food. They will starve to death, and when they starve to death, they're going to start to move to where the food is. And where the food is in Europe. And so I think, Trump has been briefed about this reality. And I think he understands that it's over. There's nothing he can do. Now, there may be Pete Hegseth one last, so let's go in with special operations forces and take the Ukrainian or the Iranian nuclear material. That'll just lead to a lot of dead Americans on the ground. There's no way this is going to succeed. Trump needs to preempt that now. We lost. It's over, Donnie, baby. Your gamble failed. You need to get out of this thing. And now he just has to find a graceful political exit.
When Trump told a reporter on Air Force One yesterday that they have an adequate supply of ammunition and equipment.
It's absolutely crazy stuff that started happening. But one of the main problems is there was a delayed reaction from the Spanish government yesterday, and also the border control authorities turned a blind eye as more people came in. There's a whole scandal which is about what actually happened on the day, But by the way, it's still ongoing. As I said, tonight it's still happening. But there's one scandal about the investigation about what happened from the moment it started, and also now about the reaction, which is absolutely fascinating when it comes to the liberal leadership in Europe. It resulted in this.
Those are a bunch of soldiers, okay, from these different countries. A bunch of soldiers. If you think that they're not going to put on a uniform when they get over here, this is where we started. Then shall the enemy besiege them. Right? 2nd Ezra 15 and 33, and from the land of the Assyrians shall the enemy besiege them and consume some of them, and in their host shall be fear and dread and strife among their kings. They're going to do the same thing here in Babylon the Great. They're going to open the gates and just let a bunch of people in like that. Right? Just like they're doing in Europe right now, because that's the plan. Those are soldiers. Okay? Fighting men. All right? All running up into Europe right now. What the hell you think they're going to do over there? They're in the middle of a war. What's been happening in Yemen? There's Yemeni in there. There's Syrians. There's Iraqis. All the places where America went killing people. Now they're coming back.
Now, the fascinating thing about this, as you can see, all the women and children, right? Absolutely vulnerable people. The reality is that in this live report, we're not just going to focus on the videos showing the invasion. We're also going to be talking about the clashes between the foreign invaders and the local residents, but also the way the mainstream media, the liberal media, have been responding to this, which is also absolutely hilarious, because they are actually trying to gaslight the global population by saying that these are all vulnerable women and children. And I'm not kidding, because we're going to show you one of the clips from the media actually saying, women and children, look at them. And they're literally just military men. What a welcome party, right?
Has anyone... So, as you can see, these things are taking place. Can you imagine the number of people dying in these caravans and things of that sort? What kind of activities are going on, right, in between all of that shit?
Yes, migration is being weaponized by the foreign invaders coming from Morocco. They are weaponizing the concept of migration and attacking local residents in Spain. Is that not... That's fine. That's absolutely fine.
This is called chickens coming home to roost.
For these morons. Now, what happened after this? The North African Muslims, who are part of this wave, because again, a lot of them are from Morocco, but the rest are from other places as well. I mean, a lot will be from North Africa, some will be from East, some will be from central parts. But in order to be happy that they have managed to get to Spain, they decided to start burning cars and buses and everything else in Ceuta. Watch this.
It's a war going on. Both sides are going to rise up. So there you have it. Let's look up this word refugee, and I'm going to go ahead and close. What does the word refugee mean? No. Wait, I saw that. Wait, it said refugee. And then this, what is this? Refugees from Morocco to Spain. Look at how that just pops up. Look at that. So this is what they are. They're refugees. Let's get the definition. A refugee is a person forced to leave their home country due to war, violence, or persecution. They cross an international border to find safety because it is too dangerous to stay or return home. Okay. So they have weaponized migration or the refugee. They're coming to set up shop and do what they're going to do wherever they land. You know how many Cambodians, how many Vietnamese are here that are mad as fuck? Right here. Japanese are mad about what happened. Fools ain't forgot nothing. Anyway, all of this is what? What is a refugee? War. World War III. We are refugees. The nation of Israel are refugees, prisoners of war, right? Why? Because you're on the battlefield. Idiot, wake up with that with President-elect